Well, hello. As we're getting into later fall, I start really craving wonderful warm bowls, and it doesn't always need to be a soup. This is a great harvest bowl, and it encompasses everything that's great in the fall. We have squash, we have beets, we have Brussels. We're gonna use a whole bunch of things and make a great hearty bowl. It eats like a meal, it has all my favorite things, and it's honestly how I like to eat on a daily basis. So to start, we're kind of getting our lentils ready, which lentils are gonna act as kind of like a grain would in a grain bowl. They're gonna kind of be that great thing that has a little bit of starch to it, a little bit of heft, kind of pulls it all together. So I have some onion sauteing in a little bit of oil, and it's getting translucent. And I'm gonna add some salt. We like to make sure we season before we put the lentils in. That's gonna make sure they're well seasoned at the end. And then some curry powder. Now I'm adding the curry powder to the hot oil because that's gonna actually help open it up and bloom it. Blooming it just means it's gonna mix with the hot oil, and it's really gonna kind of bring out all those wonderful like smells and fragrances, but more importantly, all the really good flavor. So you just for a few seconds, kind of like 30 seconds here, wanna let it get warm. And as it's doing that, the kitchen is just filled with this amazing aroma. So to that, after it's bloomed, I'm gonna add my lentils. I'm using green lentils. Lentils to me are a powerhouse. I love them because they have tons of protein. They have that wonderful kind of like starchiness, but without the starch that isn't the best for us. They're really good for us. And so I love the complexity that they can add. So I'm putting those right in there, and then I'm gonna add some water. We're gonna let that come to a simmer, and then we're just gonna let it cook. And it's gonna take like, 20-ish minutes until they're really tender and soak up all that liquid. While they're cooking, we're gonna get all of our vegetables ready. So I have all my vegetables mostly prepared except here the celery root. Now I love celery root, or celeric as it sometimes can be called. It's really gnarly. It has a great kind of lighter celery flavor, but it also has a heartiness to it. It kind of has the consistency of almost a potato, but not quite as starchy. I think it adds great flavor to a dish. I think it adds such uniqueness, and it has a sweetness that I just really love. So you can see what I'm doing is I'm chopping up all the vegetables that are on my baking sheets right here, kind of in the same size, because I want them to roast at that same kind of level, and so they take about the same amount of time. It's always impossible to know fully, but that's why I'm kind of doing the same things as I would to the beets over there, because this is all very hearty vegetables that need some good roasting time, and they're kind of gonna be the essence here of the dish, the essence of the season, and that's what I like to do. You know me, I like to eat by the seasons. I like to have what's in season, maybe available from my garden, your garden. And what's great about a bowl like this, you can really switch it up and let it work for what you have ready to go. So if you have certain things, you can do that. We are using the celery root. We are using Brussels sprouts that I've cut in half. A beautiful red beet. You know I love beets. Roasted, they get so sweet. And then Delicata squash. Now, you could use a different type of squash if that's what you have. You could use whatever really, was available for you. Now I'm putting a good dose of olive oil over all these vegetables because when you're roasting, two things are important. Your oil, which is gonna help them actually get flavor and actually caramelize, and then the seasoning, because that's gonna make sure that, again, it pulls out that good flavor. So once I get my oil on there, I like to go in and just make sure I'm kind of coating them really well and then spreading them out. So instead of jamming this all onto just one pan, I'm trying to spread them out onto two, because what you do is if you put it too close together, too tightly together, like if I would put this all on one pan, what they would end up doing is steaming. They'd be so close together that as their juices kind of release, they would steam and they would just get kind of limp, and they would never get that good caramelization on them. And that's really what we want. So I did the beets last because they always make your hand the most dirty, and then I just make sure to get that clean. And now seasoning. So I'm gonna keep this really simple. We have other flavors going on. We have curried lentils that are gonna be going into this. I wanna keep this simple, so I'm doing salt, and you wanna make sure to well salt them. So the reason sometimes you see people hold up their hand when they're salting high, which looks pretentious, looks a little bit annoying, a little flourish, but what it does is it helps you actually season it more evenly and get the salt over all of it, and you use in the end less salt when you do this, because it helps you sprinkle it a little bit more evenly across the board, as opposed to down below where you're putting some on each one. So once we get it salted, we're gonna take our pepper and do the same thing. We're gonna make sure to give it some good cracks of pepper. Look at all that. That's what's beautiful about this is, it's really simple to prepare, and what I love is, you could prepare all these vegetables, you could do everything a night before, you could do it on a weekend so you have this ready to go during the week and kind of eat on it like leftovers. So everything going to the oven is gonna be vegetables and then some chicken. So this is enough to serve 4 people. So it could be a family, it could be 4 servings for you. You could take some to lunch, you could take some for supper. I'm gonna have a couple chicken breasts. I'm gonna just put again some olive oil on. It's gonna help them get some flavor, help them roast. We're gonna put, of course, some salt. Salt is super important with meat. It's kind of your one chance to salt it well and to get it flavor into it. So we're gonna put that on there. And then I feel like every dish, especially when you have the lentils and you have some great vegetables going on, I'm gonna make sure my lentils aren't gonna boil over. I'm gonna put on a little bit of spice because I think that can kind of balance everything out. So a little bit of chipotle powder, one of my favorites, because chipotle powder has, one, a little kick, but more so than cayenne, it has a little bit of smokiness. So you're gonna get kind of that smoky, little bit of heat with it, because this is just one of the components of this whole dish. So we're gonna put that right on top. Now, we're gonna pop these in the oven. We're gonna let them roast. We're gonna let the lentils cook. We'll make a dressing. It's gonna be good. I've pulled everything out and the last thing was the lentils. So when lentils are done, I don't want them mushy. I want them to have a little bit of tooth so you can taste them, but also most of the liquid, there's just a little bit in the bottom, but most of it's, soaked up by the lentils. So these are a curried honeyed lentil. I add a little bit of honey at the end. It really balances out that curry in them. And I think it balances out kind of all the flavors here we have going on. There's something about that little bit of sweetness that just really brings it together. And since they're so warm still, the honey just melts into them. I'm gonna let that sit there. And then it's all really just an assembly line after we make the dressing. So the dressing is actually one of my favorites. It kind of has a heartiness to it and it blends really well with these flavors because you need something strong to hold up to it. So I start with tahini. Now I love tahini. I use it in a lot of different things. It is ground sesame seeds and it has so much flavor and it has, obviously it's a lot of fat because it's a seed. So it has that richness to it that really just works well with everything. So we're gonna put some lemon juice in it that kind of balances it out, just like a dressing would. It kind of lends that pop of citrus to it that I think really just, I don't know, it just marries it really well. So we're gonna put that right in there. We're gonna of course need to season it. So we're gonna add some garlic for kind of just like that great underlying flavor. And I'm gonna press this one in because I just don't sometimes feel like chopping them. And it's one of my huge ones from the garden, which there can be some really big ones sometimes. So we're gonna put that through and make sure we get all of it right in there. Look at all that goodness right there. We're gonna make sure we get it in there, so sometimes you have to scrape it off, but it just does all that for you, and then I just don't have to finely chop it, which I just appreciate. We're gonna add some salt. We need the salt in there. It's gonna help it really season well, just like a dressing would. We're gonna add a little bit of pepper, just a few cracks, some fresh ground pepper. Now the thing with tahini is when you add something like that, at first it's gonna seem like it's seizing up with that liquid, and it's gonna seem kind of clumpy. And we don't want it to be clumpy. So what we do is once it starts getting kind of thick, see how it got really thick all of a sudden, really paste-like. It's not really a dressing. We really oddly, we balance it out with some water. So it seems odd because you don't ever put water in a dressing, but what that does is as you slowly work it into it, it just kind of loosens it up and it brings it back more to like a dressing would be. And that's exactly what we're wanting here. We want it to be something that you can actually kind of drizzle over, which it's amazing how you can add water and it takes a little bit more than you think to really kind of loosen it up enough to get you that dressing. So we're just whisking it in, and this too can be made well in advance. Keep it in the fridge, have it ready to go. This I use on anything, salads, meats, it's so good. So we're gonna keep that there, and now we can kind of just put it all together. Like I said, have this ready to go beforehand. Pull it out and assemble it. It's kind of one of my favorites to do. So I start with some greens. You can do whatever green you want. I'm doing just a simple lettuce, and it's kind of that base layer. It's gonna be that thing that kind of just brings it all together, gives it some great crunch, some great kind of freshness, and then you can kind of just pick and choose and start assembling your bowl. So we have the Brussels, and I like to kind of at first keep everything separate. I think there's something pretty in seeing it. We're gonna do some of that celery root. Now, the celery root, what I love here is we're getting all these colors. So you're getting the different shades of fall. You're getting all those wonderful things, and that's what I love. The beet, okay, if you don't think you like beets, this is what you need to try. A beautiful roasted beet. It has, yes, an earthiness to it, but oh my goodness, the sweetness it has once it is roasted, no, you can't complain about that. The Delicata is absolutely gorgeous. That is always just one of my favorites. Add some chicken. We just slice it up, put it kind of there on the side. Look how pretty that all is. And then more toppings, of course, but I want to drizzle on some of my, you need a little bit of the actual dressing here. So we're gonna take a spoon and see how that we can really just drizzle it over. And that's what you want. You want it to be kind of that like, that final punch of flavor that's really gonna just bring it all together. And that's what I love. I like to put some wonderful toasted pumpkin seeds on top. It gives you a crunch. It gives you kind of that great seediness. I like to put some dried cranberries on it. They give you that sweetness. And they again, just kind of, I don't know, they give all these different textures and elements to it. You need the lentils. You can't forget those. Those kind of, to me, are really that final stretch of just like, okay, that's like that starchiness, but the healthy one. It's what really brings it together. It's what really makes you think fall. And then of course, some goat cheese. I always need a good bit of goat cheese with it. I just put it on those hot lentils. Look at that, beautiful. That is your harvest bowl. Now guys, this is hard to eat. I will, don't get me wrong, like I will try it for you. It's hot, so I will burn myself, but it is worth it because it is beautiful. Get some of that goat cheese. What more could you want? This has everything. You get the pop of like curried lentils and they're still warm, and then get that slight sweetness with them that then lends so well with the dried cranberries, and then the sweetness from the beets, from the caramelized delicata squash. Look at that caramelization on the wonderful roasted celery root. See those brown bits? That's what you want. And the browning on the Brussels sprouts, that really brings it all together. The chicken will have just that inherent little bit of spice, but also that smokiness. This is what I crave. It's what I crave, especially in the warm months. But what's best about this is total health right here. This is wholesome, nourishing food that you are gonna crave and love. And that's what I think is the best. So what do I hope you do with this? I hope you make harvest bowls, and I hope you share them around, because sharing is what food is all about. It's what brings us together. It's what my family has always done. And so I hope all of your families can too. So share it around, because it helps me when these videos get shared, but it helps everyone see this is so easy. Check my website, wiseguide.com. This recipe, all my other recipes are on there. You can print them off. You can do whatever you want with them. It's perfect. So go make a harvest bowl, enjoy the season. That's what it's all about.